So the straightforward answer is definitely yes. India did do services for little too long. Now there are reasons behind that, and we have to look at the history to analyze that. If you see, software companies in India started somewhere in the 70s. In fact, TCS were there for very long, and then Wipro started their services division, a software services division in 70s. Patti Computers was founded in 1979, if I'm right, and then of course Infosys was founded in 1981. Now, in 80s, there was not much of software services happened in India. I mean, there was like in pockets. It was difficult to do business. RBI rules were very stringent. So, getting computers or getting foreign currency or sending people itself required permissions. People had to travel to Delhi to get those permissions and the forex. So it was not easy during that time. So nothing much happened in 1980s. It's the 1991 which changed the game. So these companies were established by then, I mean, to some extent. And then 1991, suddenly, because of liberalization, everything got changed. There was no license required. So there was rapid growth during that period. And think about India of that time. I mean, with all due respect to India, of course, we were a poor country. Let's be honest about that. So, getting that foreign money was good for all of us. Every people like us. I graduated in 1996. I know people who graduated in 1990. Engineers, they all wanted a job, and the during that time, the easiest job became software. So people started joining these companies, and then these companies they were doing two things primarily. They were getting projects from US and executing them in India, and same time they were sending people. They started sending. I think in 1990s they started sending people on this visa called H1B. So I went, for example, in 1997, but I know a lot of people went before me as well. So that was the model. And then dollar rupees equation, it was that for those days it looked very positive for us because for a US company paying in dollars, or rather an Indian company is getting money in dollars and converting that to INR and paying the employees. That difference was huge. So obviously, it was a it was a it was an easy model, I would say. And given our mindset, I think we were a risk averse society in general speaking, like be it education, be it whatever. Our parents did not teach us to take risk. Our education system did not teach us to take risk. So obviously, this was easy for everyone. Somebody is paying us in dollar. We take that money, convert that in INR, and then pay people in rupees. And people were very very happy. Like people like me, I started my career with 6,500 rupees per month when I joined Patni in 1996. I switched and I joined Wipro, and Wipro was paying me 14,500 that time, 1997. Now, trust me, that money was huge for us. For a person who is coming from a lower middle class family, I mean, that money was huge. And then immediately, I get an opportunity to go to US. Why would I deny that, right? So I go to US, and then 45,000 per annum, which is like what, 3,500 something dollar per month. That was huge money. So, I wanted to go because, I saw somebody else going, and then I'm pretty sure I became example for a lot of other people. So, this is how the whole thing, like herd mentality, if you can call it that way, that happened. And there was society pressure that let's go to US, and going to US obviously for a country like us was a big deal. So people went to US, or we got projects from US and executed them here. And that's why the whole this service industry became a established industry, or sort of became a norm. Now the question is, of course, in 1980s we understand there was no software in India, so nobody was thinking of products. 1990s, to some extent, you can say same thing. But beyond that, it beats me. Like beyond that, why didn't we think about building something of our own? And there were players, let me be honest, there were players who tried to do some things like Ready, for example. The internet was becoming popular in late 90s, so Ready, Satyam, these companies were establishing their email, their portals and all that. Those concepts started coming, but somehow I feel that services were still the easy business for everybody, so everybody fell for it, right? And then I think what happened. Another thing. Now I'm sort of moving my focus to this India development centers of those MNCs. Now these companies realize, the US based companies, that we are paying people to we are paying to Wipro, Infosys of the world in USD, and they are paying their people in rupees. Why can't we do the same thing? And that's where you see all this India development centers. Now we have given them a sexy term called GCC, but they were called India development centers back those days. They started like Siemens, General Electric, Oracle. Oracle was a big company. I mean, Oracle was a big center in Bangalore, which started very early in the game. So they started hiring people here, and same model basically. Initial days they would send all the crappy work here. And I was with Oracle, so I'm telling you, the work I did for Oracle was crappy work there in Bangalore, right? So they would just they would do all the innovation there, send the crappy work to India, and we Indians will just do that crappy work because we were getting money for that. And then who cares, right? So that's how I think we all, including me, people like me, we all got immersed into this services business. Now this was happening through the services companies, and same time it started happening with the GCCs of that time. So now think about the equation, like for that US company, if they were to pay entry level salaries, it would be 100K during those days, also 80K or 100K. Now convert that to Indian rupees. That's huge, right? In that money, you could hire 4 or 5 people in India. And trust me, that was the equation. I just sharing an anecdote here. I used to be VP engineering one of the companies, and I was reporting into the founder, and it was a late stage startup. That founder once gave he gave me 22 names in US. Those were contractors, and he said, Nikesh, I'm letting go these 22 people, and I'm giving you 150 racks. So he gave me, for those 22 people, from the same budget, he was able to allocate a budget for 150 people for me to hire in India. Think about it, right? So that was the model for everybody. Startups, when they were starting in US, investors would ask them, what is your India story? What does that mean? Are you building, were they asking that you are building this startup and keeping use cases of India in mind? Of course not. India story meant, like, do you have an India development center or not? So that the same $1 million which I've given you, you can run it for a longer duration. Because if you hire resources in India, that was the story. Now for us Indians, and again, as I said, I'm not making fun of anybody. First thing, I am included. If I'm making fun of anybody, I'm included in that herd, right? So we for us Indians, it was easy money. People were getting 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 80 lakhs, crores, 2 crores, and it's sitting in India. Now, that's such a handsome salary if you think about it. In India, you don't have to do anything else. So why would anybody come out and take a risk? Just imagine, just ask somebody, who is in his 40s, quit a job which is paying you north of 1 crore and start a company tomorrow and build something for India. Just ask, and I can guarantee you the answer will be no. The answer could be like, hey, you know what? I'm sitting in my comfort zone. I'm happy. Why should I struggle with a startup for 4 or 5 years with no guarantee of success? Correct. So that's where to build something for to build something for India. A lot of people will have to quit their cushy jobs and then take chance. And that when I say chance, you can be successful or you can be burnt out and then make nothing, right? So that's a difficult game. And as I said earlier, like services is easy. GCCs came and they are paying handsome money to people. So their purpose is solved, and we all think like, hey, we are working for Meta, we are working for Oracle, we are working for SAP, we are doing very well, we are working for MNC. But effectively speaking, all our attention, I wouldn't call a skill or focus or whatever, all our attention has gone to those companies. We are all together building for US, and not from today. We have been doing this for like 40 years. Now, if that has to change, some of us will have to take the risk. There is no two way about it, and there is enough opportunity. In my opinion, we can give competition to anybody and everybody. Everybody is capable enough, right? But that risk will have to be taken by some. Now, when I say some, that number could be in thousands, lakhs, or whatever. Because when the success rate will be very low. When 1,000 people take that risk, maybe just 100 will be successful. So those remaining 900, they will be unsuccessful. So that's the risk we are talking about. Are we ready for that? That's something we have to think about. But that's the very very short analysis of the entire thing. A lot of people might think this is not right, but in 10 minutes, 11 minutes, that's all I can tell you. We can go into details of this, but in my opinion, we did services because that was easy for us. It is as simple as that. We did services because dollar was going up, and then we were able to convert that money and pay ourselves in Indian rupees. That's it. GCs also came here only for that. If anybody is telling you these GCs are here because they love us, they're lying. They of course won't tell this ever, but that's the only reason. I know companies who have shut down their engineering centers in US. They are just running sales and other functions there, and they have their entire engineering in India. Why? Because it saves them a lot of money. They are still selling. They don't sell their software in India. And some of the companies, you can just go back and look in my profile, and I work for these companies, right? So I know for sure. So the entire engineering is here, and then they're just selling the software in US. So that's the reason. So that's it, and there are solutions, and I touched upon those solutions. I'll do a detailed video on what should be done, who can do that, who can take that risk, and then what are the opportunities. I'll definitely talk about that in one of my next videos. Thank you very much. Take care.